Hey gang, we're here for a 15-minute full body stretch. This is a really great one to incorporate before bed or first thing in the morning or post-workout. Mostly static stretching today, so I wouldn't necessarily use this as a warm-up, but definitely a standalone. And I'd like you to take this opportunity today to just breathe and be present with yourself. So we will go ahead and get started. Make sure you've got water nearby. Socks and shoes, completely optional. I'm gonna go ahead and start my tracker just for timing purposes. And while I'm getting set up here, you can go ahead and take a position similar to the one that I'm in. We're gonna begin with some hip openers. It's gonna feel so lovely. So this is a two-part stretch. You'll feel one part of the stretch in the static kneeling leg, opening up that hip, and then we're gonna go ahead and lean into that left side. We'll start with the left side. We'll go 30 seconds on each. This feels so nice. So we're gonna take the stretch in two different sections, essentially. We'll go through the first section once, and then we'll go through it all again. Dynamic stretch is a really great way to incorporate in a warm-up. Alexa, turn it down 3. But static stretching, really giving your body the opportunity to hold certain stretches and poses for 20 to 30 seconds, really makes that incredible difference in your flexibility, your blood flow. And you can even just use this as a mindful practice tool for presence and some deep breathing. We're gonna go ahead and come down into a full child's pose. So go ahead and send those hips as far back as you can. Reach as far forward as possible. Settle into the stretch and breathe. Alexa, turn it down 2. You can take whatever breathing cadence feels right for you, but I would recommend, we're gonna take it up to a down dog in just a sec. So tuck those feet, rack those hips, and send the hips forward, creating space. Relax the head and neck, and just try to create that space here in your down dog. Get those heels as close to the ground as you can. But the more that you can take some deep breaths into the stretch, the deeper that you can sink into it, the more you'll get out of the stretch today. Perfect. We're going to come forward into our plank. Find your plank. Your options are to drop to the knees or come all the way down into a cobra or up dog. So this is a core stretch. This will also double as a nice little low back stretch as well. We'll get into the thoracic spine, but this is such a good underrated ab stretch right here. Settle in with one more breath. Perfect job. We're going to come all the way down flat on our bellies on our mat, and we're just going to go ahead and settle into a quad stretch. So starting with that right leg, and try to pull that heel as close as you can to your booty while keeping your hips flat on your mat. And try to keep that upper body nice and relaxed too. In our day-to-day, we tend to put a lot of stress and strain on our necks and shoulders. from prolonged sitting, from staring at our computer, from looking down. So we really want to be conscious of relaxing the head, neck, and spine for this stretch. Go ahead and slowly release and switch. Good. Last breath will settle in right here. Perfect. Go ahead and slowly release. We will transition flat on our back into some T-spine stretching. You guys already know I'm a big fan. So go ahead and bring that right leg, cross it over the left side. Keep those shoulders flat on your mat or on the ground underneath you. Oh, so good. You can even close the eyes and just feel that stretch. Remember, this is an opportunity to relax and be present, to try to clear the mind. So allow this to double as a physical and mental benefit. Go ahead and bring that knee into chest, give a little hug before you send it away, and switch. Now remember, you'll see all of these moves again twice, 2 times total. So if you're feeling a little tight, round 1, that's completely normal and fine. So the goal is for the next round, you know what the moves are, and you'll just feel a little looser. Maybe you'll sink a little bit deeper into certain stretches. Last little hug before you send it away. We're going to move into what I like to call a frog stretch. And what it looks like is you're going to come on all fours, but we're going to get some separation here, literally like a frog. So this is such a good one for the thoracic spine. Also a little bit of hip opening. So if you're comfortable, you can go ahead and send the body down to your forearms and send those hips back. Good. We're going to take that right arm and just go ahead and weave it down through. So this can kind of double as a shoulder stretch as well. A little bicep. Good, one more breath. Perfect. This feels so good with that hip opening. Come back up to forearms, left arm, weave it down through. Good, last steady breath before we head right back to the top with our modified lunge / hip opening stretch. So we'll start with the left side this time. So start just by getting into position, and then you can start to lean into that stretch, pressing that hip back, and almost like you're pushing that elbow right up against the thigh, not against the knee, but against the thigh, just to really get that hip opened. This feels so nice. When was the last time you took a moment to yourself? A full 15 minutes to stretch your body. Yeah, I know we squeeze in that 5 to 10 out of obligation mostly, but but when was the last time you took a full 15 minutes and just allowed your body to just discover certain poses and stretches that feel really good? I know it's been a while for me, but it's something I'm actively working on making a priority. Perfect. Good. We're going to find our child's pose. So send those hips all the way back, arms come forward, and right away, breathe into that stretch. The better you can improve your flexibility, the less soreness you'll feel on a regular basis. And the less sore you feel, the less of your chances of injury. And nobody wants to be injured. Nobody wants that setback. It's not the worst thing, but it is a setback. Last breath. Good. Send those hips up. We're going to tuck the feet, rock it into down dog. Create that separation. Maybe getting a bit more separation in round 2 than in round 1. Relax the head and the neck. Try to bring those heels as close to the ground as you can. Beautiful calf stretch. In this last exhale, gently send those hips forward. Option to stay here in high plank, drop to those knees, or all the way down into a full mini cobra or up dog. The stretch will forever remind me of just being on the ball field. We would do this stretch before every practice, before every game. Brings me right back to the field. I can like smell the grass in this position. Good. Perfect job. We're going to come all the way down flat on our bellies. Quad stretch. Little green colors flashing. And remember, as much as you can keep those hips pressed against the floor, the deeper you can pull that heel to your glute. And you can even try to press your hand away, like press your foot against the hand, and just get as deep as you want with this. And then push again with your hand against the foot. So that force will really create a nice quad stretch. Go ahead and slowly release. Switch. Good. Slowly release. And however you like to transition from your belly to your back, go ahead and do it. Try to massage that low back to your mat. Go ahead and reach. Give that little hug before you send the knee across. Shoulders stay nice and flat. and get right into that deep breathing. I don't want you to use a particular breathing cadence or really focus on the breath too much, but I would like you to intentionally, at any point, like throughout these poses, take these deep breaths because it allows you to get a little deeper into your stretching. And sometimes when we're tense, we unknowingly hold our breath, and that's the last thing you would want to do. Little hug, switch, and we're gonna cross. I always feel a little glute stretch here as well. It's a nice little added bonus. Last little hug. And finally, we've got our frog. Nice and wide, send those hips back. Down on the forearms if that is comfortable. Go ahead and weave that right arm down through. And switch. Last deep breath in. Forearms. You can even slowly rock forward. Go ahead and cool it down however you need to cool it down. Make sure you've got plenty of water. If you had performed this as a standalone, I hope you feel much more relaxed than you did coming into it. And I hope that if this was a cool down for you, you gave those muscles everything that you needed in those 15 minutes. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.